In this final session on induction motors, we'll be discussing the starting of single-phase induction motors. We have already understood that in a single-phase induction motor, rotating magnetic field is not produced of its own. So there needs to be a mechanism by which we can be able to, by which we will be able to generate a rotating magnetic field in case of a single-phase induction motor. Only a pulsating magnetic field is produced by a single phase induction motor. Hence, the induction motor in this case is not self-starting. We need to have some external mechanism. This mechanism will actually make the single phase induction motor virtually behave as a two-phase induction motor. And we have discussed that for any phases greater than 2, a rotating magnetic field can be produced. Uh, these For single phase induction motors, there are particularly two theories that have been discussed in literature. One is the double revolving field theory, and second one is the cross field theory. So these two theories actually explain as to how a single phase induction motor, how we can be able to, how a starting mechanism can be introduced in a single phase induction motor. As per double field revolving theory is concerned, it states that any uniaxial quantity, say for example, we have a magnetic field, it's a vector, we can represent it by uh, two other vectors. They are rotating, but rotating in different directions. So if we have a magnetic field quantity B, magnetic field vector B, we can represent it by two other vectors. While the magnetic field vector B is not rotating, it is not rotating on its own. We can represent the this magnetic field by two other vectors. We can resolve it into two other vector components. One vector will be rotating in a clockwise direction, and another vector will be rotating in a counterclockwise direction. The net summation of the two vectors will be again B, which is not rotating on its own. Uh, So if we can have a mechanism which can either aid the counterclockwise direction or the clockwise direction rotation, we'll be able to produce a rotating magnetic field in case of a single phase induction motors. Now, based upon these theories, we have a number of uh, we have number of starting mechanisms for single phase induction motors. And as per the starting mechanism, they are also classified into these induction motors. So we can say the single phase induction motors are of the following types of single phase induction motor. First one is mm, the first one is split phase induction motor. What we do in case of a split phase induction motor is we provide an auxiliary winding along with the main winding of the induction motor. So if this is the main starter winding of the induction motor, we place another winding uh, that will be the auxiliary winding, spatially arranged at 90 degrees from the main winding. This will be the rotor. So this is the main winding of the starter. We place another winding that will be termed as the auxiliary winding here. That will be spatially placed at 90 degrees from the main winding. So the field produced by the two windings will also be 90 degrees apart from each other. So if we have the main winding is producing the magnetic field in this direction, the auxiliary winding in that case will be producing a magnetic field in this direction. So we have two windings, they are producing a magnetic field in two different directions. So the net magnetic field will be somewhere along this direction. Now, as the magnitude of the current increases, as the magnitude of the magnitude of magnetic field in the main winding increases, the direction of the direction of the net magnetic field will keep on changing. That means our net magnetic field will now start rotating. This actually results in a rotating magnetic field. Once a rotating magnetic field is established in the circuit, we can remove the we can remove the auxiliary winding. We no longer need this auxiliary winding. So a switch is actually kept in place here that will actually be used to turn on or turn off the auxiliary winding. Now we do not need to manually turn it on or turn it off. We can use a centrifugal switch that automatically will turn on or turn off the auxiliary winding of its own. So the principle here is simple. We have a main winding that produces a magnetic field in a certain direction. We now place an auxiliary winding in a 90 degrees spatially apart from it. So the magnetic field produced by the two windings will also be 90 degrees apart from each other. As the magnitude of current varies through the windings, the magnitude of magnetic field intensity also varies. The net magnetic field will keep on shifting and a rotating magnetic field will in short be produced. Once the rotating magnetic field is produced, because of the net stator magnetic field is produced, that's rotating in nature, we can remove the auxiliary winding. We no longer need that. Once that once that uh, initial inertia is set into motion, the rotating magnetic field will now keep on rotating. It will not stop unless the motor is turned off. So this is the principle of split phase induction motor. We use an auxiliary winding here along with the main winding. Another case can be uh, in second type of single phase induction motor. Capacitor start induction motor. So this is our main winding. Now instead of using a auxiliary winding, we can use a capacitor. The current flowing through the main winding and the current flowing through the capacitor will now have a phase difference between them. We know that because of a capacitor, the current will be leading the voltage by 90. The current will be leading by 90 degrees. So there will be a phase difference between the current in the two windings. We normally also support the capacitor along with some auxiliary windings. We use some turns of auxiliary windings to support the capacitor. Now, in this case, because of the natural property of a capacitor, that the current will be uh, leading by 90 degrees, we can see that the magnetic field produced because of uh, the winding in this part will be 90 degrees shifted from that produced by the main winding. Now we have two different magnetic fields, they are aligned at 90 degrees to each other. This is a natural property of capacitor to cause the current to lag, to cause the current to lead by 90 degrees. So magnetic field will be produced that will be also 90 degrees phase shifted from each other, produced by the main winding and by the capacitor. Uh, so in this case, the 90 degrees phase shift is produced because of the natural property of the capacitor. Once again, we have a net magnetic field that will be the resolution of the two magnetic field vectors. And as the current magnitude changes, the magnet direction of this net magnetic field will change. That will cause the rotating magnetic field to be set up in this capacitor start induction motor. Now, again, using a centrifugal switch, we can turn off the capacitor. Third type of induction single phase induction motor is a capacitor start capacitor run induction motor. So this is our main winding. There is a capacitor here that will be connected through a switch. There will be another capacitor in this case that will be, so this is our main winding of the induction motor. This is our rotor circuit here. This is our capacitor start. This is our capacitor run. Now, what we have seen in case of a capacitor start induction motor is that the torque speed characteristics of a capacitor start induction motor are better than that of a split phase induction motor. We are able to produce the starting torque is much better. The torque during operation is larger than as compared in the split phase induction motor. So due to the added advantage of using a capacitor that helps in producing that results in the better torque speed characteristics of induction motor. What we do in case of a capacitor start capacitor and induction motor is we use one capacitor simply to turn on the induction motor, and we use another capacitor that will be permanently be running alongside the main winding. The capacitor, this capacitor, the two capacitors will have different ratings, whereas the capacitor start will be used to have sufficient amount of rating to cause the starting. The capacitor run will be of a lower rating that will be used to only keep the torque profile at the higher end. So a relatively larger capacitor for higher starting torque will be used, but a smaller value capacitor will be kept in place even after starting to improve the running characteristics while also not drawing excessive current in this induction motor. So this is uh, just to improve the torque speed characteristics and obtain a higher starting torque, we use a very large starting capacitor, but we use a smaller capacitor that will be used for permanent operation. So capacitor start capacitor and induction motor capacitor start will similarly act. It will generate a 90-degree phase shifted magnetic field and cause the rotating magnetic field in this circuit, whereas the capacitor run will only be used to improve the torque profile characteristics of this induction motor permanently. The fourth type of single phase induction motor is a shaded pole induction motor. In case of shaded pole induction motor, what we do is, if say for example, these are the two poles of the induction motor, one is the north and another one is the south pole. What we do in this case is that we shade the poles. By shading, we mean actually we'll provide extra windings at this end of the pole and extra windings at this end of the pole. Now, because of using extra windings at two different pole ends, the magnetic field produced because of this will aid the either the clockwise magnetic field or the counterclockwise magnetic field and cause the system to rotate. The effect of the shading coil will cause the flux to shift across the pole face from the unshaded to the shaded portion. The shifting flux is it is like a rotating weak field moving in the direction from the unshaded portion to the shaded portion. The rotor of the squirrel cage type is under the influence of this moving field. Consequently, a smaller starting torque will be developed. We are simply aiding the counterclockwise magnetic field or the clockwise magnetic field using shaded poles. Shaded poles here. Shaded poles simply means having coils, having extra coils at the pole ends. So it will either aid this clockwise rotation or it will aid this counterclockwise rotation and produce extra field in that direction that will actually cause the rotating magnetic that will produce a rotating magnetic field. So this is all about the starting of single phase induction motors. Rest of the properties of a single phase induction motor and a three phase induction motor are fairly similar. They have the same torque speed profile. They have the same equivalent circuit. The power flow diagram is similar. Only we have to keep in mind that we are doing three phase. We'll be using three phase. We'll be using single phase equations in case of single phase induction motor and three phase equations, power equations, three phase power equation in case of a three phase induction motor. So this wraps up our session of this session, and this wraps up our induction motor series. We'll be starting with the DC motor in the next session.